Hi, this is Francis from Easel. Today, I'm going to start the first of a three-part video series that I'm making based around an Easel gallery project that I shared in the Easel Project gallery, which is this 3D boat adventure sign. And we can kind of take a look at it. And essentially, I made this 3D file by combining a bunch of different 3D files together using a software to make this sign. And I kind of wanted to walk through that process together, step by step, to kind of show you how I made that file, and then just kind of give you some tools to make your own 3D files that you can then import into Easel and Carve. I'm going to start by highlighting the two websites that I use to create the 3D file. I'll then import some 3D components into one of the website's tools, and then that'll be the end of the first video. The second video will pick up and I'll design the 3D file, and then the last video will be me exporting that 3D file, importing it into Easel, and setting it up there. I'll also share the 3D project in the gallery, so if you're really into that 3D project, you can carve that one as well. But the first thing I'm going to do is just highlight the two websites that I'm going to use to create my 3D file. So I will pull it up here. The first one is Thingiverse, and this is a tool that I really like to use for grabbing free 3D files. It's got a plethora of 3D files that users share. They're all free to download, and you can search for things. So I'm going to search F1 car, and it gives me a plethora of different options. I can pick from these, any of the files that I want, I can pick from, and then download a copy of that STL for free. The other tool that I'm going to use is TinkerCAD, which is a free 3D CAD software program that's kind of designed for ease of use. And so I'm just going to pull up a brand new 3D project. And essentially, TinkerCAD works really well because it's got a bunch of basic shapes that you can bring into a tool. You can adjust certain settings in the tool. Right now I'm going to change it to Imperial because that's what I work in best. And we'll increase the size of the work surface here. But essentially it's a really easy to use, kind of simple to get started with 3D tool. It's really great for creating things very simply, and we're going to kind of walk through that. So what I'm going to do is very similar to the boat sign. I'm going to make a new sign that's F1 specific. It's going to be an F1 car, and then a 3D file. I'm going to pick up a 3D file of the track Monza and add that to my sign, and then kind of create that sign here in TinkerCAD, and then import that into Easel. So to start, I need to grab two 3D files, one of an F1 car. Since this is a CNC project, I'm going to pick up a kind of a simpler, less geometrically complex F1 car, just so it's a little easier on the CNC machine. I think this one looks just fine. And I will download this file. It'll open up a window, you'll see a countdown here, and then it'll download the file. And then the next thing I need to pick up is a 3D file of Monza. So I'm just going to search Monza here, and I should get a bunch of different options for the Monza track. And I'd like to pick one that's got words in it, just because I think that would look just a little bit better on the sign. And I think this one looks best, because those words look really kind of blocky and big, which I think, again, is going to work really well for my CNC file. So I'm going to download these files. You get that countdown, and then it's going to download both of those files. And then we're done with Thingiverse. And then I'll show you what the files look like. They import as zip files, so you'll need to unzip them. And I'm just going to do that really quick. And then you'll get some folders, and the STL itself will be in the folder titled File. And I'm going to move that directly into my downloads, so it's just a little bit easier to find. And then I can grab all of these files and get them out of here, so it's a little easier to see. And then I'm going to import them into TinkerCAD. And to do that, I will click on Import right here and then choose File. It's going to show me my files. Let's see. It's not letting me select it for some reason. There we go. I will import it. And then it might take a minute or two to import that file. And then we'll be able to see it. We've already adjusted our work plane, but you can zoom in and zoom out using your scroll wheel. You can select things by holding the left mouse button and dragging, and then you can pan around or move around the work plane by holding your right click button and moving around the space. And that's really helpful as you're kind of moving, and at any time you can press home and it'll home you back to kind of the initial view of the work plane. You can also add shapes. We'll add a shape in the next video, but I can kind of showcase it here while we're waiting for this file to import by just clicking on what you want and dragging it, and then you can adjust the shape of these files very simply by just kind of grabbing the points and adjusting them. And we're just going to kind of let this upload. We can try importing our other one as well. And yeah, you can start two imports at the same time, and it'll import them as it can. So we've got our first file here, which is the track file, and then we're just waiting for the F1 car to import. So I'm going to stop the video here. The next video is going to be me using TinkerCAD to create a full 3D file. So please stick around for that. It'll be linked in the video below. I'll also link TinkerCAD and Thingiverse there as well. Have a wonderful day. Bye.
To learn more, head over to easel.com.